good morning, everyone. You got the Air Down podcast from Fly on the Wall Productions. Live on Facebook and YouTube, streamed everywhere. You get your podcasts and on the web at airedoutvt.com. I'm JD Green. Good morning. Some system updates this morning and some just a whole bunch of restarts and computer fun and software upgrades and whatever the hell else we call it. But, a little late, and I'm going to just be cranking through this one this morning. First up, before we even get started, happy National Avocado Day today. I got one on the lunchbox. Yes, I still have my Scooby-Doo lunchbox today, and I've got an avocado in it, and I'm so excited. I love it. Guacamole, just throw some onions in there. Good morning. How we doing? Are we all right? Linda, good morning. Hope you're fine. Vermont Quick Lube, of course, every Wednesday we talk about Ladies' Day. You get a free flower and a car wash every Wednesday with an oil change service over there. They have been doing this for a very long time over at Vermont Quick Lube. No appointment needed. Just pull up. They're going to get you right in. They also do brakes and struts, tire changeovers, rotations, transmission fluids, you name it. But it is Ladies' Day today over at Vermont Quick Lube. Weather forecast from Roger Hill. I think most of us know by now that we have some flood watches that have been issued ahead of more downpours and storms today in Vermont and New York, and that flood watch is posted until midnight tonight for everywhere, including Clinton, Essex, Franklin, and St. Lawrence counties in New York. Scattered showers and thunderstorms going to continue through this evening. Some of them could be strong to locally severe, capable of producing torrential rain and damaging winds. I've got this directly from NOAA right here. I am looking at it. Widespread showers and thunderstorms expected to develop Wednesday and continue into the evening. Let's see. Rainfall, yes. Localized flash flooding possible in areas that see multiple thunderstorms and or have had some recent heavy rains. A lot of concern for the Northeast Kingdom, who just got soaked out bad yesterday. And their saturation points are huge. They're just soaked up there. And there's some concern for many communities. Weather.gov/BTV is a great way to closely monitor future forecasts. And we can't emphasize that enough. We've got some information that's up on our Facebook page now on the Aired Out, but we encourage you to dive a little deeper and monitor weather on your own. Don't just rely on one social media network. Have your alerts and stuff set up on your phone. Be proactive. If you got stuff in the basement, or you have stuff outside that should be temporarily moved or relocated for a short period of time, this would be a great time to do it. I'm just going to run down, because we're so late this morning, I'm just going to run down some of the headlines that we have going on in Vermont. And I'm going to look for your comments and your reaction to some of this, which is some of it's pretty crazy. Vermont Superior Court has ruled that and I've got a lot of this from WCAX and Channel 5 NBC. Vermont Superior Court has ruled that a school that injected a young child with a COVID vaccine without the parent's permission is immune under federal law. This story has just stunned me this morning. Federal Public Readiness and Emergency Preparedness Act, also known as the PrEP Act, protects state and school officials with immunity except in cases considered willful misconduct. Are you catching this? Are you paying attention to this story? It's unbelievable. COVID vaccines are covered by a 2020 declaration extended multiple times, by the way, by the U.S. Health Secretary. The school had previously contacted parents and said they needed their consent. The Academy School, part of Wyndham Southeast School District here in Vermont. The school, before the school hosted the vaccine clinic, the parents of this young boy contacted the school and said, no, thank you. Please do not give our child the vaccine. Even more, just a few days before the clinic, the father contacted the school again and emphasized that they did not authorize the vaccine and did not want them to administer the shot to their son. The boy, check this out, was removed from class the day of the clinic and labeled as a child who had already been vaccinated. The boy even told workers, there's a lot of questions here about this, a lot of questions that just I alone have. The boy even told the school nurse and the others that were there doing this vaccine clinic that his father did not want him to have the vaccine. And here's the part, and I hope you're sitting down for this. They distracted him with a stuffed animal and gave him the shot anyway, according to court records. Glad I'm not the parent. The Vermont Superior Court dismissed the lawsuit by the parents, saying they needed to bring litigation in federal court instead under the PrEP Act's immunity exemption. The school administration, including the school nurse, is protected by this exemption. You want to weigh in on that? And let me say this. Regardless of where you stand on this, how you might feel, please drop a comment. I would love to hear all perspectives on this. I really would. Teach me something. Make me see this from a different angle if you can, please. Let's see what else we have going on in Vermont today. Vermont's online sports betting program, launched in January at the start of the year, is doing well. $100 million has been wagered so far in the last 6 months, Vermont. $100 million in 6 months. $3.5 million in generated revenue for the state of Vermont. Not sure exactly where all of that is going, but I know that $500,000 of it has been dedicated to problem gambling programs in Vermont. Again, if you have any thoughts on this from any angle, I would love to hear what you have to say. Should we do some birthdays? Yeah. Kathy Puckett on the list today. Lauren Andrews, happy birthday. Let's see, who else do we have? Yes. Karen McMahon. Greg Spirian is on the list today. John Cutler, happy birthday. Jean Perusi, Claudette Jarvis, and Kayla Brooks, all celebrating birthdays. Celebs, we got Wesley Snipes at 62, Mark Cuban at 66, and J.K. Rowling, 59, and still rolling in it. Other Vermont headlines this morning. Route 105 in the Northeast Kingdom washed out, still impassable. Boy, the stories that are coming out of the kingdom, amazing. I hope everyone's all right up there. I know this is such a pain in the ass, all the flooding that's going on, and there's great concern about what's coming with the heavy rainfalls today, again, especially for the Northeast Kingdom. And Route 105, I know I'm mentioning that, but that is by far not the not the only road that's washed out in the kingdom, and the rest of our state for that matter. Vermont is fast-tracking $5 million of low or no-interest loans to cash-strapped communities affected by the floods. Again, July 10th. The first real dip into the pot, which, by the way, has $18 million in it, part of the Emergency Relief Assistance Fund. That story's in the news today. Nick Sanborn is on the run in Burlington, escaped from court-ordered treatment yesterday. Last month, this guy, I think, 30-something years old, 30 years old, tried to escape while being transported to the hospital for medical treatment. He was being transported to a substance use disorder treatment facility yesterday, or maybe it was Monday, when he asked his chaperone, his driver, to stop at a relative's house so that he could pick up some clothes. And that's, of course, when he took off on foot and was headed in the direction of Burlington. So, attempted felony escape is now being added to a nice long list of other charges that Nick is facing, including retail theft, things like assaulting an officer, and the list goes on from there. National headlines. We got Meta Platforms agreeing to a $1.4 billion settlement with the state of Texas over its use of facial recognition technology, the largest privacy-related payment to a single state ever. Meta, you guys need to relax. Stopped off at a place to grab a sandwich the other day. There was a big sign on the door. We do not sell boar's head meats. This is all because of the recall, with boar's head being linked to a listeria outbreak that has now expanded, the news this morning, to include 7 million additional pounds of boar's head product. Last week, they recalled 200,000 pounds of ready-to-eat liverwurst products and some other deli meats. I like liverwurst. But anyway, this is also the sliced meat at grocery store, deli counters, and sandwich shops. They're recalling 71 items now. That's what we're up to, 71. Ham, bologna, bacon, sausage products. 30 illnesses have been reported so far in 13 states. 33 hospitalizations. 2 deaths. USDA Food Safety and Inspection Service is very busy this morning, for sure. Big Lots. Are you a fan? They expect to close dozens of locations in 2024. A company that is feeling some pain. U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission making the big announcement. 35 to 40 stores going to be closing before the end of the year, before the end of 2024. Big Lots. Wildfires continuing to burn out of control in Northern California. Forest Ranch is mainly the place where they've got 300 plus structures that have been burned to the ground. Firefighters today dealing with a heat wave, get this, that is surpassing 100 degrees. I'm not sure how it is humanly possible to fight any fire of any size with a temperature that's that high. That is outrageous. I can't even imagine. I would drop like a dead tree in a temperature like that, even without fighting a fire. I just can't believe it. Prayers. Keep these folks in your prayers. Today, tonight, before you go to bed, think about them. Don't forget about them. California, I know it's a long way away, but it's part of our nation. Whew. We have 52-year-old Christopher Dunn, who has left a prison in Missouri after serving 34 years in the murder of a teenage boy. The judge ordered his immediate release after key witnesses recanted their testimony. So Christopher Dunn is walking free. He says he forgives them for waiting 34 years before they recant their testimony. Christopher Dunn, you're a better man than I am. CDC has just announced a $5 million initiative to offer seasonal flu vaccines to farm workers to prevent a supercharged flu virus. I got this right here in the AP. Public health officials across the United States sharing concerns that a new version of the influenza virus could emerge among livestock workers who are at a higher risk of catching the bird flu virus, which has been circulating in millions of farmed and wild animals. New initiative. The seasonal flu vaccine will not be mandatory for farm workers, but will be brought to local events and to areas where they typically gather. Okay. The general public's risk from bird flu remains low, according to the CDC, but there is still a real risk for animals, with outbreaks detected in commercial poultry, backyard flocks, and yes, even domestic pets. Senate on Tuesday, yesterday, passed legislation aimed at protecting minors online as many lawmakers and parents criticize the effects of social media use on children. We've been hearing so much about this over the last couple of months. The legislative package is made up of a pair of key bills that require enhanced safeguards for children, including restricting access to minors' personal data and providing parents with supervision tools in some cases. Parents, you should be doing a damn good job anyway with regard to really anything that your kids are watching, social media or otherwise. You shouldn't need this for you to do a good job. But nonetheless, this package proposes a limit on features that encourage children and teens to stay on social platforms longer. It also calls on platforms to prohibit ads shown to minors that include narcotic drugs, tobacco products, gambling, and alcohol. Not clear yet if the legislation is going to be taken up in the House, though Mike Johnson, who is a House Speaker, has signed, has suggested that he is open-minded about this measure. What say you about this? No matter who you are, where you're watching from this morning, I'd love to see what your comments are. How many times has the Federal Reserve kept interest rates steady at the current levels. 7 times in a row. And the Fed is expected to deliver a crucial hint today that might suggest a little bit of a lower borrowing cost for many of us in the coming months. So, widely anticipated, we will see. I'll be trying to pay attention to that today, see what's going on. This will be the 8th straight time for the Feds to do this. Let's see. Tesla recalling 1.8 million vehicles because of a possible failure to detect unlatched hoods that are opening while people are driving, increasing the risk of crash. If you're speeding in your Tesla today, make sure you get some extra duct tape down on that hood so it doesn't pop open on you. World news, oil topping $80 per barrel. Analysts are warning of a, and I'm quoting here, phase of deterioration in the Middle East. What do you think? You think the oil industry is starting to ramp back up again? You think that it's dangerous maybe to depend so much on oil from the Middle East? What do you think? I know we keep hearing drill, baby, drill. It's all over everyone's phones, and it's all over the internet, all over the TV. There was just another airstrike on a top official in the Middle East, a top Hamas leader who was killed in that airstrike. Israel targeted his home in Tehran, which has stirred up fears of a wider conflict now in the Middle East, as there are calls for revenge from Hamas. This is a huge story. I ask you again, do you think it's dangerous to depend so much on oil from the Middle East? Whew. Other world news, 123 people killed and hundreds more injured yesterday. Heavy overnight rains causing landslides in India. Hundreds of disaster relief workers and military personnel conducting rescue efforts as I tell you this story right now, where it's still raining hard, downpours right now. Over 3,000 people have been evacuated to safety, but again, 123 people killed. Certainly don't need a reminder here in Vermont of the power and destructive power of water. Sports, Vermont Mountaineers dropped the final game of the Governor's Cup Series against the Upper Valley Nighthawks last night. What a bummer. Score of 11-1. Yeah, they got destroyed. Vermont has already secured the Governor's Cup victory in the last game at the Upper Valley with the Nighthawks for the third straight season. Vermont going to be hosting Ocean State for the regular season finale, Montpelier Recreation Field, today. Be 2 7-inning games. The first one set for 4 o'clock this afternoon. 2024 postseason going to be starting on Thursday. That would be tomorrow. Yes, today's the final day of July. That'll be the best of 3 series. Montpelier's Recreation Field, 6:30. And the game, if you can't get to the park, the game is going to be exclusively on ESPN+. But the weather is supposed to be improving for Thursday night, so that ought to be good. Let's see. In the completion of a suspended game from July 17th down in Worcester, the Bravehearts beat the Vermont Lake Monsters 9-5 Tuesday night at Centennial Field. The night's regularly scheduled contest was also postponed. So, yeah. Next game is going to be the doubleheader with Worcester starting at 5:35 tonight. Olympics. Team USA yesterday clinching its first Olympic gold medal in the women's gymnastics team all-around competition. First time since 2016. And this Simone Biles, unreal. Most decorated Olympic American gymnast of all time. Clinched gold for Team USA in the final yesterday. The triathlon competitors are scheduled to go forward in Paris today after poor water quality in the River Seine caused the men's race to be postponed yesterday, so they're going to go forward with that today. Don't swallow the water as you're swimming. Team USA men's soccer advanced to the quarterfinals for the first time in 24 years. It's going to face Morocco on Friday. Hopefully they're going to be talking about that tonight, 5:30, Four Quarters podcast right here. Let's see. Quick note here from Tetros. They are hiring technicians for the summer. I'm going to give you the phone number in a second here, but listen. A lot of us have a washer, dryer, appliance at home that suddenly is on the fritz, and suddenly we're screwed. That's when you pick up the phone and you call Tetros, 802-476-1416, 476-1416. You can also email services at tetrosaces.com, services at tetrosaces.com. Tell them we sent you. And if you're looking for a summer job, they are hiring right now technicians for the summer. Why? Because the demand is high. It's that simple. Mark Tetro, we love him. Everyone loves him. Let's see. What else do we have? Paramount Twin Cinema in Barrie. Capitol Showplace Theater in Montpelier. Cranking right now. Deadpool and Wolverine just surpassed the $500 million mark at the global box office. That's the highest global opening weekend since 2021. Two great movies to catch. Make this week your week to catch a movie at either theater. FGB Theaters, proud sponsor of the Aired Out podcast. Giroux General Transport, there's another one. Talking with Tracy yesterday, they just started their CDL training course on Monday, but the next one is coming up September 23rd. You need to reserve your spot today if you want to be in on that. Get on the roster. Put your name in, 279-3325. 279-3325. Giroux General Transport. You want to do the hazmat thing? You want to do the CDL Class A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Whatever kind of driver you want to be, get in touch with Giroux General Transport. I think it's A, B, and C for CDL. Can you tell that I'm not a CDL driver? Let's see. What else is happening? I think that's pretty much it. Don't forget, Four Quarters podcast tonight. The 2024 MLB trade deadline wrapped up last night. I'm sure they're going to be talking about that tonight. CB, Lori Shepard, Wheels, all right here at 5:30. Thanks for liking and following the page. Don't forget, drop a comment, drop a share, post anything you want, any thoughts that you have. We love to hear what you have to say. All right? Almost forgot, in sports. This coming Saturday, the Wildcats are going to be taking on the Ravens. 6:30 over at Norwich. It's all my sports stuff right here. Yes, so much going on, so much happening. Raylene will be back with us tomorrow. Whew. What is tomorrow? Thursday, August 1st. Heather Slayton might be with us. I'll let you know. Friday, Matt Strong from Rooted Entertainment is going to be joining us by phone to talk about the Green Mountain Reggae Festival. The final lineup is going to be announced. It's going to be so much fun. And then on Monday, I can't wait, Walker Fitch is going to be in here. What is it, double points night this coming Thursday night? Triple points night? Something like that? We'll be talking about it tomorrow morning, right here where we are now. Thanks, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day, and thanks to all of our sponsors, both presenting and supporting. We love and appreciate so much. Here they are right here.